Have you ever felt a subtle shift within you? A quiet dissatisfaction, not with what you have, but with how you are carrying it. It's not a loud alarm, but a gentle, persistent hum beneath the surface of your daily life, suggesting there is a different way to be. We are often told that transformation must be a seismic event, a dramatic break with the past, a forceful act of will. But the deepest changes, the ones that reshape our very soul, rarely happen this way. Ancient wisdom reveals a more profound truth. Spiritual awakening is not an act of acquisition, but a process of gentle release. It is not a race, but a slow, deliberate unfolding. You are not building something new on top of the old. You are simply letting go of the stones in your pockets, one by one, so you can finally feel your own lightness. In our journey together today, we will not speak of grand resolutions or overnight revolutions. Instead, we will explore the 7 burdens that spiritually aware people learn to set down, not with a crash, but with the slowness of a setting sun. This is the path of conscious release. If you feel this call to a quieter, deeper way of living, I invite you to declare your intention. Type, "I release with grace," in the comments below. Let this be a quiet promise to yourself, a signal to the universe that you are ready to walk this path. And as we begin this exploration, if this philosophy resonates with the path you are on, consider joining our community. By subscribing, you support the creation of more spaces for quiet contemplation and shared wisdom. It's an invitation to journey together. Now, let us explore the first burden we learn to release. The first is the need to be right. Think of the last time you were in a disagreement. Not a major debate about life's great questions, but a small, insignificant one. The correct way to load a dishwasher, the fastest route to a destination, the exact wording of something someone said last week. Feel that tension in your chest, the tightening in your jaw. Your mind races, assembling facts, preparing defenses, all for a victory that, once won, feels strangely empty. You might have won the point, but in the process, a subtle wall was built between you and the other person. You sacrificed connection for correctness. This compulsion to be right is one of a mind that feels it must constantly defend its territory, its very existence. It's the ego's desperate plea for validation. But deep wisdom shows us a different way. Look at a great river. It does not argue with the rocks in its path. It does not insist on a straight line. It flows around them, over them, gently wearing them down over centuries. Its power is not in its rigidity, but in its yielding. It reaches the ocean not by fighting the landscape, but by harmonizing with it. When you begin to release the need to be right, you are not admitting defeat. You are choosing a higher form of strength. You are choosing peace over proving a point. You start to listen not to reboot, but to understand. You become curious about other perspectives, not threatened by them. This letting go is slow because the habit of a lifetime is strong. It happens in small moments, letting a comment pass without correction, smiling and saying, "You might be right," and meaning it, feeling the immediate release of tension within you. In this space, you discover that the prize was never being right. It was the freedom that comes from no longer needing to be. You trade the brittle satisfaction of correctness for the profound resilience of connection. The second thing you slowly quit is resisting the present moment. How much of your day is spent in a quiet battle with reality? You are stuck in traffic, and your mind is already at your destination, fuming about being late. It's a rainy day, and you're mentally living in the sunny day you wished for. You are doing a routine task, and your thoughts are lost in anxieties about the future or regrets about the past. This constant internal friction, this subtle no to what is the source of immense exhaustion. It's like trying to swim against the current. You can expend all your energy and find you've gone nowhere. The anchor for this is the feeling in your body when you resist. Notice the clenched hands when a driver cuts you off, the shallow breath when a plan goes awry. That physical sensation is your body's signal that you are at war with the now. We believe our resistance will somehow change the situation, but it only ever changes us, making us more stressed, more agitated, more disconnected from the only moment we ever truly have, this one. The laws of nature itself reveal the wisdom of acceptance. A tree does not resist the winter. It lets go of its leaves and trusts in the cycle, in knowing that spring will return. It conserves its energy by aligning with the season, not fighting it. Slowly, you learn to do the same. This doesn't mean you become passive, or that you never seek to change your circumstances. It means you stop wasting your life force on fighting what is already here. You learn to breathe into the traffic jam, perhaps noticing the music on the radio or the clouds in the sky. You learn to feel the rain on your skin. This is a slow letting go, because our mind is conditioned to problem solve, to control, to fix. The practice is to notice your resistance as it arises, without judgment, and gently, very gently, to relax around it. You say to the moment, I see you. I may not like you, but for now, I will not fight you. And in that small act of surrender, you find an incredible peace. You realize peace is not the absence of problems, but the absence of resistance to them. The third is seeking external validation. Do you remember in school that feeling of waiting for a graded paper to be returned? The flutter of anxiety in your stomach, the way your entire sense of self-worth seemed to hang on the red number at the top of the page. As adults, the classroom may have changed, but for many of us, that dynamic has not. We post a photo online and refresh the page, counting likes. We share a success and listen intently for the right words of praise. We dress not just for ourselves, but for the imagined approval of others. Our happiness becomes a fragile thing, held in the hands of a world that is fickle and ever changing. This is living life from the outside in. We are constantly adjusting our performance based on the perceived audience, becoming actors in our own lives rather than the director. The inner voice becomes faint, drowned out by the roar of external expectation and the whisper of potential criticism. From a space of deep awareness, we understand that this is like a tree seeking permission from the wind to grow. It is an impossible task. A tree's strength comes from its roots, from its silent, unseen connection to the earth. It grows according to its own nature, not according to the weather of the day. Your journey is to slowly grow your own roots. This is a painstaking process. It means making a choice, a small one at first, that is truly for you, even if no one will ever know about it. It means learning to listen to that quiet inner guidance, your own intuition, and trusting it. Even if it contradicts the popular opinion, you start to notice the moments you're performing, and gently ask yourself, what do I truly feel here? You learn to comfort yourself when you feel disappointed, rather than immediately seeking reassurance from someone else. Over time, like watering a seed, this inner directed strength grows. You still appreciate kindness and connection, but your core sense of worth is no longer up for negotiation. You slowly, patiently, become the ultimate source of your own approval. The fourth thing you release is the attachment to specific outcomes. We all do this. We map out our lives in our minds. We create a beautiful, detailed blueprint. This is how my career will unfold. This is when I will meet a partner. This is how my children will be. This is how my retirement will look. We then invest all of our emotional energy into forcing life to conform to this blueprint. When it inevitably deviates, as life always does, we experience deep frustration, disappointment, and a sense of failure. We feel that life has betrayed us, when in truth, we were simply trying to chain the ocean. Think about a gardener. A wise gardener does not demand that a seed sprout on a specific day, or that a flower produce a specific number of petals. The gardener understands their role is to create the best possible conditions, to provide good soil, water, and sunlight. Then they surrender. They trust the process. They watch with wonder as life unfolds, in its own time and its own mysterious way. Sometimes the harvest is bountiful in ways they never expected. Other times, a storm comes and they learn lessons of impermanence and resilience. To slowly release attachment to outcomes is to become this wise gardener in your own life. You still set intentions. You still work with diligence and care. You pour your heart into what you do. But you consciously, deliberately Let go of controlling the final result. You fall in love with the process itself, the digging, the planting, the watering, not just the imagined fruit. This is a profoundly difficult and slow release because it feels like giving up control. But what you are really giving up is the illusion of control, and in its place, you are gaining trust. You start to see that even when things don't go your way, they are often going a better way, a way that teaches you something you needed to learn. A closed door here, a delayed plan there. You start to approach these not as failures, but with a quiet curiosity. What is this trying to show me? You stop trying to write the entire story and instead learn the art of beautifully living this single page. The fifth burden to set down is the habit of judgment. Picture yourself sitting on a park bench. You watch people walk by. Your mind almost automatically begins its commentary. That person is walking too slowly. Her outfit is strange. He looks angry. This stream of quiet judgment is so constant, we often don't even notice it. It's the background noise of our minds. We judge others, we judge situations, and most mercilessly of all, we judge ourselves. Each judgment is a small act of separation. It creates ends and a them, a right and a wrong. It reinforces a world of division and isolates us within our own rigid perspectives. This habit is anchored in fear. We judge what we don't understand. We criticize in others what we fear within ourselves. It is a primitive defense mechanism of an ego that wants to simplify the world into neat, manageable boxes, with itself in the correct box. The slow journey of release from this habit is the path of compassion. As ancient wisdom teaches, to understand all is to forgive all. You don't achieve this by forcing yourself to stop judging. That would just be another judgment. Judging yourself for being judgmental. Instead, you begin with simple, gentle awareness. You just notice it. Ah, there is the judging mind again. You observe it without getting entangled in its story. Then, you introduce a sliver of curiosity. You look at the person you just judged and wonder about their story. What battles are they fighting? What joys have they known? What led them to this very moment? You will never know the answers, but the act of asking the question softens your heart. It replaces the hard edge of judgment with the gentle space of empathy. You start applying this same grace to yourself. When you catch yourself in a mistake, instead of the usual barrage of self-criticism, you learn to whisper, "You are human. You are learning. It is okay." You slowly dissolve the walls of judgment and find that on the other side is a vast, open field of shared humanity. The sixth release is from the story of your past. We all carry a story. It's the narrative we've constructed about who we are, based on our experiences. I am the person who was hurt in that relationship. I am someone who isn't good at public speaking. I am from a family where we don't do things like that. This story gives us a sense of identity, but it can also become a cage. We play the same role over and over because it's familiar, even if it's painful. We make choices in the present that are dictated by the emotional ghosts of our past. We look at the future through a lens scratched and colored by old wounds. Imagine carrying a heavy backpack filled with all the stones of your past hurts, mistakes, and limitations. You've carried it for so long. Its weight feels normal. You may have even forgotten you have the power to take it off. Releasing the story of your past doesn't mean forgetting it. You don't erase your history. Instead, you change your relationship to it. You stop allowing it to be the sole author of your present and future. This process is slow because these stories are deeply embedded in our sense of self. It begins by recognizing that you are the storyteller, not just the character in the story. You have the power to interpret the events differently. You start by taking one small stone out of the backpack. You look at a past failure not as a final verdict on your worth, but as a crucial lesson that shaped your wisdom. You view a past heartbreak not as proof that you are unlovable, but as an experience that opened your capacity for compassion. You consciously practice bringing your awareness fully into this moment. When the old narrative starts playing in your head, you gently acknowledge it. I recognize this story, and then you deliberately choose a different thought, a different action, one that aligns with the person you are choosing to become now. You are no longer the tree forever bent by a long ago storm. You are the sky that holds the memory of all weather, vast and free. You learn that your past is a place of reference, not a place of residence. And the seventh thing you slowly, gently quit is the illusion of control. Our modern world celebrates control. We manage our time, our finances, our careers, our diets. We create 5-year plans and try to mitigate every possible risk. This drive gives us a sense of safety and power, but it is built on a fragile foundation, the belief that we can and should command the intricate, wild, and unpredictable dance of life. And this attempt to control everything is the source of our deepest anxieties. We are constantly bracing for the unexpected, tense and rigid, trying to hold back the tide with our bare hands. The anchor for this is the feeling of white-knuckled stress when something happens that is off plan. A sudden illness, a job loss, a global event beyond your influence. In these moments, our carefully constructed worlds feel like they are crumbling, and we are gripped by fear because our primary coping mechanism, control, has been revealed as an illusion. The great spiritual traditions point towards a more powerful, more peaceful state: trust. Not a blind faith, but a deep, intelligent trust in the process of life itself. Look at your own body. You don't consciously control the beating of your heart, the digesting of your food, or the healing of a cut. A magnificent intelligence is at work, far beyond your mind's comprehension. Awakening is slowly extending that same trust outward, to the unfolding of your life. Quitting the illusion of control is a slow dance between effort and surrender. You do your part. You act with integrity, intention, and wisdom, but then you let go. You hand the results over to that larger intelligence. You learn to say, "I will do my best," and let the rest be. You start to see life less as a problem to be solved and more as a mystery to be lived. When uncertainty arises, instead of tensing up with the need to control, you learn to soften, to breathe, and to become curious about where this new, unplotted path might lead. You are trading the exhausting burden of being the micromanager of the universe for the liberating peace of being a conscious participant within it. These 7 releases are not a checklist to be completed. They are a lifelong practice, a direction for the heart. Letting go is not a one-time event, but a continuous, gentle return to your true nature. It is the slow, patient work of a lifetime, and it is the most rewarding work you will ever do. You are not losing parts of yourself. You are shedding everything that was never truly you to begin with. You are discovering the profound, unshakable peace that was always there, waiting beneath the noise. If this journey of gentle release is one you wish to continue, then let this be your commitment. Subscribe to this channel, not just for more videos, but as a promise to yourself. A promise to walk this path with patience, to treat yourself with compassion, and to continue the sacred work of becoming more fully, more peacefully, who you truly are. Your journey is beautiful, and you do not have to walk it alone.